Straight ahead on CCX News, school budget decisions, how deficits are being trimmed, and what local school officials are saying about future budgets. Plus, rain helps plants grow, but too much can also cause disease. We're in the garden with a look at fungus problems. And later, no easy way out.
I can honestly say that nobody could accomplish any of these rooms just on their own. I mean, it would be very, very difficult.
The escape in Plymouth that requires teamwork. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. The school year may be over, but local school officials have been hard at work making final decisions on next year's budget. State law requires school boards to adopt a budget by June 30th of each year, and Delane Cleveland joins us now with more on what sort of impact the budget will have on the Osseo School District. Delane?
Mike, the Osseo School Board approved next year's budget on June 13th, and one of the key things to note is that they're spending about $4 million more than they're bringing in.
That's, of course, an area of concern. We do not want to have budgets that are in a deficit spending position, meaning expenditures exceeding revenues. In Osseo area schools, and I think it's probably true for most school districts, we look out 5 years, and we have long planned for this position of deficit spending.
Patricia Magnuson is the Executive Director of Finance and Operations for the district. She says that when the voters approved the operating referendum in 2013, the district knew that expenditures would start to surpass revenue at about this time. However, the district has money in the general fund just for that purpose. It was at $60 million, and now that fund will be at $55.5 million. The reason the amount isn't lower is because the state legislature approved a 2% increase in funding. But as expenses have gone up due to salaries and benefits for teachers and school staff, district officials want parents to know that they have a long-range view of budget priorities.
We're in a strong fiscal position, that there's a rigorous process. There's places for parents to stay in touch with what's happening with the school district, and that we are watching well into the future to ensure that we have stability and that we are planning ahead for funding needs.
Meanwhile, in the Robbinsdale School District, they started out with a $6.8 million deficit. District officials have since approved reductions to make up the difference, including cutting the equivalent of 46 full-time employees. The reductions won't affect student-to-teacher ratios, though. Those will be maintained for next year. Mike?
All right, thank you. The Perpich Center for Arts Education in Golden Valley has named a Twin Cities school superintendent to become their new executive director as the school tries to address deficiencies found in a legislative audit earlier this year. Kurt Trigestad, the current superintendent of Eden Prairie Schools, was chosen from a field of 36 applicants. Trigestad has been at Eden Prairie since 2012. Last year, he was named Minnesota Superintendent of the Year by the Association of School Administrators. He is expected to start on August 1st. But now to a neighborhood success story. Brooklyn Center's Orchard Lane Park neighborhood in the northwest part of the city is on the rebound. Not long ago, the area battled crime issues, but things have changed for the better. According to Brooklyn Center Police, violent crime has dropped 50% to date this year in the neighborhood compared to 2016. Meanwhile, total property crime is down 33% so far in 2017 compared to 2016. The city has been proactive in getting residents involved. There was a national night out gathering last summer at Orchard Lane Park and another meeting there just last week. Neighbors have also made a concerted effort to keep a close watch on the area, and it's paying off.
It's helped them build strong.
Absolutely, it's getting better. I mean, I haven't seen any crime lately. No fighting, no, shooting, stealing cars and stuff, robbery and stuff. So, I mean, the neighborhood is way better now.
There is an occasional police presence in Orchard Lane Park neighborhood. One resident describes the area now as quiet and peaceful. A new senior living complex is closer to completion, while another is in the early planning stages. In New Hope, the Good Samaritan Society is proposing a new assisted living facility next to a building it already operates on Medicine Lake Road. The new 3-story building would have 31 units. The developer is asking the city for financing help. A hearing on that is expected in August. The developer would like to start construction in September. Meanwhile, in Brooklyn Center, another new assisted care center is taking shape in that city. The sanctuary of Brooklyn Center is 4 stories tall with room for 158 apartments. Some of the units will cater to residents suffering from memory loss. It's going up on the site of an old Chrysler dealership. And city officials say it's a chance to change the look of Brooklyn Boulevard and help elderly residents stay closer to home and friends as they age. The first residents are expected to move in by the spring of 2018. Also in Brooklyn Center this weekend, it is Earle Brown Day, starting with the parade on Thursday night, weather permitting. And there's a lot of events Saturday, including something new for kids of all ages. They're calling it Bubble Soccer, and it will be part of the new Teen Zone. As you can see in this promotional video, there may be more bouncing than soccer playing.
There's inflatable clear balls that you hang on to and you run and you're playing soccer, but if you bump into something, you're going to bounce off of them. And then if you bounce to the ground, you might bounce back up or you might roll. So it's just for fun. It's a very safe activity because you're cushioned inside of the bubble.
Another big attraction at the Teen Zone is the video gaming truck. It all starts at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon in Centennial Park. Still ahead on CCX News, we've had a wet spring and all that water may be causing disease in some plants. We'll look at what you can do coming up next. Plus, one more chance to compete as high school players. We'll hear from local players competing in this weekend's High School All-Star Baseball Series. But first, the clouds clear up and the sun returns on Friday. In Plymouth, a health and fitness club is planning a move within the city. Tiger Athletics plans to move to a new location on Vicksburg Lane, south of Highway 55. That's about 2 miles north of its current location. The move will give the fitness club more space. Tiger Athletics offers personal training, chiropractic services, and physical therapy. The Plymouth City Council is expected to vote on approval at its July 25th meeting. Well, thanks to all the rain we've had, some gardeners are getting a real workout trying to keep fungus from spreading to plants and trees. Reporter Sonia Goins goes in the garden now to show us how to keep the brown and black spots off leaves.
And normally that spot will get bigger and bigger.
The dark, patchy spots kind of look like chickenpox, but it's actually fungus. Many gardeners are coming into Dundee Nursery in Plymouth wondering what's up with the spotty leaves.
This is a hosta, and this is anthracnose right here. A lot of people are coming in with that one this year, more than normal, just because of the spring.
Fungus has been growing more this year than most because we had a cool, rainy spring. And as soon as it gets warm and the humidity kicks in, the fungus spreads even more. The good news is the infection won't kill your plants or trees, but they might not look pretty.
Some things like your apple scabs will actually defoliate probably 50% of your tree in the middle of the summer. Like July, it just gets hot and they start dropping foliage.
Mildew can also attack annuals and vegetables.
When water is on your plants and it stays there for a long time, that's where it spreads it more.
We can't do anything about the rain, but when you decide to give your plants some H2O, make sure to water underneath plants versus on top.
The morning gives you more time to dry, because as soon as the sun shines, the leaves start to dry off. Where at nighttime, if you water when you get home from work, the leaves can stay wet for hours.
Gardeners can also prevent the spread of fungus by getting rid of infected leaves.
Live with it. Clean up your leaves in the fall when they fall on the ground. That gets rid of the spores that might overwinter, and try to prevent it from happening next spring.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Chemicals can also slow down the spread of fungus, but it most likely won't stop it altogether. And for a more organic option, try using a mild solution of baking soda and water on fungus. Still ahead, we head to Plymouth, where people get locked up and have to plan their escape. No need to worry, it is pure puzzle-solving fun. But first, we'll hear from Terry Tuma as he talks about catching small and largemouth bass. John Jacobson is in next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. The annual High School All-Star Baseball Series is this weekend in Chaska. Rain forced workouts indoors this morning as the teams prep for the Friday and Saturday games. Jay Wilcox has more.
It's Minnesota's best in one tournament. Getting selected for the Play Ball Minnesota All-Star Series is quite an honor.
It was pretty cool. You know, I got an email about it and saw it, and I knew Brett and Isaac played in it last year, and they said it was a really great experience. So it's just a good opportunity for me to come out here, show what I got, be able to play with some of the best competition in the state.
It's just kind of, I guess, a reward for putting in a lot of hard work. Now I thought I had a good season, so I was honored when Bobby nominated me for this.
It's a huge honor, just knowing that it's against the best dudes in the state, all the best seniors out there. It's a big deal for me and the rest of these guys out here.
Champlain Park's Cole Albers and Zach Loven. Maple Grove's Bubba Horton will play for the Metro North team, along with Kyle Halverson of Totino Grace. Wyzetta's Will Oberg and Chad Musser. Vanille's Derek Dries will suit up for the Metro West. Teaming up with arch rivals from their conferences can be a little interesting.
It'll be different for sure. Being on the same side of the field as them, it'll be fun, but yeah, it'll be definitely cool to get to know them and stuff.
It'll take some getting used to, I suppose, for a little bit, but hopefully after this practice we'll be teammates now and friends, so we'll put the other stuff aside and play as a team.
It may not have the same intensity as the state tournament, but the local guys say winning still matters at the All-Star Series.
Come here to win. That's what we want to do. Have some fun, but win is the goal for sure.
Well, you always want to win. You know, it's mostly for the experience, but I think we go out and have fun, get some wins, hopefully 3 of them.
Everybody's going to be good. We're going to see a lot of good arms, so I think it's to have fun, but being Metro North, we have a title to defend, so we'll go get it.
With the Play Ball All-Stars, Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Corey Davis of Champlain Park is a coach for the Metro North team, while Wyzetta's Bobby DeWitt is a Metro West coach. There are 6 teams total in the event, 4 Metro and 2 outstate. The first of the 9 tournament games gets underway at 12:30 Friday at Chaska Athletic Park. The American Legion baseball season is well underway. Maple Grove is coming off a state high school tournament appearance, and many of the same players transitioned right into playing Legion ball. Maple Grove at home to face Brooklyn Park in a North Hennepin League game. Bottom of the second, Maple Grove's Caleb Gates with a blue pit scores Hayden Thompson for a run and a 2-0 lead. In the same inning, Jensen Erickson up. He rolls a ground ball into the hole to score Gates. Grove is up 4-0 after 2. Maple Grove starter Jerry Goulet has good stuff all game. Top of the third, he strikes out the side. Bottom of the third inning, Gates finds a hole between third and short, scoring Zach Bradbury and Thompson for a 6-0 lead. Park Center third baseman Jackson Dwyer. Watch on this play, makes a really nice play. Big hop, fires home, and gets the out of the plate. Bottom of the 6th, Andrew Lewis comes through with a base hit over third base. That scores Bubba Horton, and it's 9-0 Crimson. And then in the top of the 7th, Maple Grove shortstop Zachary Friedman shows good range and fires to first to end the game. Maple Grove wins 9-0. There are many ways to catch bass on Minnesota lakes in the summer. Harry Tuma talks about one method in this week's CCX Sports Fishing Tip.
An individual the other day asked me, what is one of your favorite ways of catching large and smallmouth bass? Really, in all honesty, I feel the wacky worm style of fishing is one of the most productive ways. The reason being is that it's a slow fall that's going to be that trigger, and also the ends of this wacky worm is going to be moving in the water column. I use either the shaky worm or the power sinking minnow, one or the other. And the key factor here is that it works for aggressive fish, neutral fish, and negative fish. So it's just going to be very dependent on how we jig it or present it, how we retrieve it. These are all factors in matching that mood of the fish. To hook a wacky worm, I use a wacky worm hook and then just insert it in the center of that wacky worm and then run the barb all the way through the wacky worm and then back it off so now it becomes 100% weedless. If you're fishing deeper water or the fish start to move out away from that weeded because of the fishing pressure, then go to a wacky worm jig. It's going to allow that wacky worm to fall a little bit quicker. I use a small 1/16 ounce, generally speaking, but that also is extremely, extremely productive. Those fish many times will move out. Give it a try. You'll be very, very surprised and very successful using wacky worms for bass.
Thanks, Terry. That's all for sports. Mike, back to you.
All right, John, thanks a lot. Up next, locked up and need to find a way to escape. We'll take you to Plymouth to highlight one of the hottest trends in puzzle-solving fun. Finally, if you haven't been to an escape room, chances are you've heard of one. It's becoming a hot trend all around the country, and we currently have 2 in the Northwest Metro. Reporter Shannon Slatton shows us how they work.
Are you guys ready? You really want to get to know someone, lock yourself in a room with them. Head on in. And if that's not enough, solve a few puzzles together in order to get out.
It's a puzzle that you're involved in.
There's a boom in escape rooms like the new 0-hour escape room in Plymouth. It's in an office building off Highway 55. But inside, each room has been transformed to fit a theme and a mission.
It's the immersion that we really want to take someone from their daily routine and throw them into a situation or a room, for example, here, and make them forget all about the outside world.
Lee Tufty creates and builds the games.
This is our Game Master room here. We have cameras on every room from multiple angles.
Here, game masters watch how a game develops and feeds the team clues along the way. Now they are watching a team of medical students find their way out in an hour's time.
They are progressed into the second half of our game right now.
The nice part about it is it doesn't seem as though there's so many things going on at once that nobody can really commandeer the entire situation.
The goal is to have fun, as I found out going into the Gold Rush room and trying to find Old Willie's lost gold and ultimately a way out. We use clues on maps, on the table,
15-4, 15-6,
and just about anywhere we could find to get the codes for the locks.
Let me try 215.
And find the gold.
You have to solve the clues to get from another aspect of the room and move on throughout the whole process. So it takes a team effort, but everybody's got a different skill set. So it's actually a really fun thing to do as a group.
Not everyone escapes before time expires, but we did. And the countdown is already on as to when we can come back.
We're already talking about doing the next one.
You only have 1 hour to be in the escape room, whether you escape or not. And of course, if you want to get out, you can by pushing the exit button at any time. The cost to go through the room is $29.99 per person, and you can sign up all online at 0hourescaperooms.com. Well, we're going to escape now. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here again tomorrow, starting at 4.